Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Mess. We are here to talk about all types of TV, film, the messiest plots, the messiest characters, just anything that has the drama, the thrills, the shocks, the everything. You come to the right place to hear. We have a special guest today with a very, 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 very good film. Miss Tonya Pinkins, and we'll introduce you to her in a minute. But here is the Muldiversity crew in with us today. We've got an extra, right? So let's get to Mike first. Mike.
What's going on, good people? I'm sorry, I'm hyped. I'm double duty right now. I'm going on to one and I'm going on to another. Oh my God, good people. We haven't seen the mess in a long time. Like, it's been what, 2 weeks now? I know
Mm-hmm.
you missed us. We know you missed the whole Mo Diversity crew. We hoped you tuned in to last night's episode. We hope that you saw the premiere of the Sam Benjamin interview that we premiered at 12 o'clock today. We hope you go check that out. Leave us a like, subscribe, and comment. But yeah, I'm super excited because the movie that we about to talk about, I don't think nobody is ready for this. And because I wasn't ready, my crew wasn't ready. But we got our brother here with us today.
Oh, what's up? Hey, everyone. It's been a minute since I've been on the mess, but it's of course Aaron Michael. If you say my name's 5 times really fast, I might appear in a mirror. We don't know. But that's in tune for this movie that we're going to talk about because, guys, I don't think messy is the word. Like, shook. I'm so in shock. I'm in shit. Like, what? Oh, I'm ready.
Like, to be honest, I
Whew.
was just like, okay, like when I started watching it, I was like, okay, all right, let me prepare myself. But
Right.
whoa, what?
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
What? It's a lot. Miss Joe, can you give us, a rundown of the movie
Yes.
and everything?
Yes. Well, I just want to tell everybody we're gonna start with the movie Red Pill. We're going to do some talk about that. And then we're going to circle back for WandaVision. So, stick around. And, a couple other things. We talk, catching up with the Equalizer and a few other shows that we talk about from week to week. But first, I want to introduce this woman, creator, director, actress, award-winning. She's been in everything and she's like this genius that came up with this movie Red Pill, Miss Tonya Pinkins. And when you see her face, you'll know she's so familiar. Hey, how you doing? You're on mute.
Oh,
Oh, you're on
wait,
mute.
is she
Oh,
on
there you
mute?
go. There you go. Got it.
It keeps muting me back. Hey, hello from Mississippi.
Mississippi. Ooh.
Oh yeah, she's down there shooting with our friend Ray Fisher right now.
Yes, I am. Just over
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Not
So
bad.
yeah, we can talk about that in a minute, but we gotta get to this movie because
Whew, yeah.
um, okay, so Red Pill, it's your movie. You wrote it and directed it, right?
Yeah, produced it, financed it, cast it, art directed
Or
it, post production, supervised it. I did everything.
everything. Wow. Okay, so
My
my first
baby.
question,
Yes.
it's a pretty baby. It's a pretty baby. It's a bad baby, but it's a pretty baby. Um, uh, so my first question is, what made you take on the project like this?
You
Where the
know, I had done all the things you're supposed to do when you're trying to do something new, when you're supposed to transition. I applied for the programs, I shadowed, I asked for the jobs, I applied to the schools. All of those doors were closed to me. And so I was like, well, everybody else is saying no to me. I'm not going to say no to myself. So I said, I'm going to make a movie with the resources that I have available to me. And I'm going to finish a feature film. That was the goal.
Wow, and you did it,
Whew,
and you did
yeah.
it.
I did it.
So and the idea for Red Pill.
So many ideas in Red Pill, but really it was like the frustration of being a Black woman and seeing things that are so obvious and having people treat me like I have two heads or with contempt or just, I'm invisible or I don't know what I'm talking about. And I was like, okay, there's no point in me telling people what's going on in the world. Let me just put it in a movie and they can say it's far-fetched and extreme and crazy until they're living it.
I'm laughing because that's exactly what's there. So you star and you're one of the stars in this movie, and you've got a good cast. I mean, talk about going and getting your friends. I mean, did you just like call up some buddies or?
The only people I asked were people whose phone numbers were in my phone book, because if I had to go through a gatekeeper, I knew that wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I called up people who I had a phone number for. Not necessarily that I'd worked with them, but we had connected somewhere at some time and exchanged phone numbers. And so those were the people I asked.
Oh my goodness. So Red Pill, just for everybody watching it, looking in, is this horror film, this political horror film that's got some comedy in it, but it's about this group that traveled to I guess a getaway, Superhost.
They went to Virginia to go canvassing before the election.
Yeah, and
they were interrupted.
That was
interrupted.
That's what we gonna call
my goodness.
Interrupted. Okay, because that when they pulled up on that street, I was like, turn around,
yes,
please.
Okay, so these people roll up, and there's a sign that has some choice words on there that describing Black people and all the people that usually folks don't like around there. It was a very racist sign in like red scrawled like. That should have been enough to turn folks around.
But in the horror movies, they always do what they are supposed to do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it gets worse from there. So there's themes of, there's a man getting lynched, a white man getting lynched. Yeah. You've got, okay, I'll stop talking. Y'all can go. With your questions.
You was doing good because it's like you was breaking it down because child, like it was a lot. And what I liked about it because when it opens up, it's this car ride, I feel like with the opening scene, you were giving us like bits and pieces of each individual personality. And I appreciate that because when you start, I don't know who these people are, and I'm already side-eyeing one person because I'm just like, do you supposed to be in this car with these people? But it's the conversation that was going on. You had the conversation of politics, you had some jokes going on. I can tell there was some couples going on and everything like that. So you gave me those personalities of each person, and when they got the car and they had to work together to do what they did, I was like, okay, I get it, but it was just amazing to see it all come together, especially when they got to the house. I was like, and the main character basically wasn't having it at all. Like, was not like
Cassandra
having it at all.
Yeah, Cassandra.
Greek, woman who is destined to tell the truth and not be believed.
I was gonna ask you about her name. Yes. So Cassandra, from the beginning was like, let's go back. Let's go home. This don't feel good. And they didn't believe her. So those conversations, back to the conversations in the car, the conversations that happened in the house that night, they got wild. Some of them went sideways. I don't know why y'all didn't start fighting. Are those conversations that come from, did they come from like your personal life or,
yeah,
the dialogue works so good.
I'm one of those people who's like a real chameleon. So I hang out with all kinds of people, and people feel very comfortable with me. I can just blend in. So the things that I have heard, I was like, oh yeah, now let me put the people who say all these things in a room together. What's that like?
and it got real. It got real fast. So, Aaron.
Oh, now that's an understatement. I mean, I've been around a lot of different people with a lot of strong opinions, so that is right on the money. But like I said on Twitter, I just got that vibe of like the original Suspiria meets the original Wicker Man, because I'm just like, it's this sense of dread. It's not like the first 20 minutes, like Mike was saying. It was a sense of dread this whole time. There was tension, and you knew it was a horror movie, but you really captured that thriller essence. And I'm sitting here the whole time like, okay, what's about to happen? Who's about to die? How like, and then we see the women, like the women in the street just standing outside and actually going, like, it almost reminded me of Sundown Town in that regard, because you have people waiting, to see people who aren't the Aryan, race pop through, and they ready to give them hell. Like, to say I'm shook is still an understatement. I am. That's if you ever quote me, just.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put shook. I'm shook.
Yeah, we are. I wanted to ask about you. You said you did the production design. So, did you have this idea about the color red popping out from the beginning?
Yes.
And so how is the when you started wrapping that into the story, what did you what are some of your expectations for the audience on noticing that? Because I didn't really catch it till the second viewing. Was that?
I'm very into the fact that, there's a spectrum. Like, people think things are polarities, there's opposites, but I think that everything is a spectrum. So red spiritually is the most protective color you can wear. You're supposed to put it on underneath your mattress to protect you in your bed. I know lots of people who always wear red underwear because it's a very protective color. But red is also associated with one of the political parties in our country. So I really was excited to play with symbols that had different meaning in different cultures, and to then get to experience how people, based on where they were coming from in their culture or society, would experience this movie, because I'm using symbology and iconography that has different meanings depending on where you're coming from.
Yeah, and that is powerful. That is powerful. And this idea of one of the characters too stood out to me was the one from Croatia. And she too was another one. I wanted everybody to look at this cast. She was played by Luba Mason. Her name was Amelia, I think.
Yes.
She her accent seemed to get thicker, and she started smoking when things started like really going down. So where did she come from? I mean, where did the idea for her to put somebody that came from a war to come from, and putting them in this position?
My personal friend community is very diverse. And so I was thinking, what is the most diverse group of people I can afford to have? And so I was like, I can pay 5 actors and I'll be one, that'll be 6. And so I was like, Ruben Blades can be my indigenous Latino, because he is an indigenous Panamanian. So he could carry that energy. I've got Adeshala Osakalumi, who's carrying Afro-Caribbean, Nigerian, and he's our Brit. I'm carrying African American. Catherine Irby's giving us our white American woman, and Jacob Flaherty is carrying our white patriarch Jewish guy. So it's like, if you put all those together, and then Eastern European, because the idea of whiteness, people don't realize that America invented that. And so when people first came over here, you had to earn the right to be white. And so she gets to break that down for you. And because she's coming from a war zone, seeing people get killed, that's just a different thing for her. Like she, Americans have never had really a war on our soil. So to be in the presence of someone who has lived through that, it brings a whole nother energy to it that I was interested in because I know people like that.
Yeah, that was interesting. Because I'm okay. So I'm gonna set this up for the audience. You got somebody's missing. You've got somebody who's just been shot with just dead in front of you, and you got people shooting, possibly, snipers, maybe. You don't know where they at, and all this is happening, and then all of a sudden one of your best girlfriends just kind of like sits down at the table, puts out some cigarettes, starts smoking, and her accent gets thicker. And she starts telling you what you need to do to survive, talking about we're gonna have to take some of them with us if we gonna die. I'm like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And it was a lot. And so this was that part of that movie where you either get this feeling of survival and the feeling of not, and they ignored her. I mean,
at one point I felt bad because I was like, y'all, I get it. You're trying to get this little getaway. You trying to get away from everything, get your little peace of mind. But she don't have no peace of mind right now because, like she said, all of the signs are pointing to something that's not right. So yeah, it was a suspense for me. Like, I want to ask a question because I want to know, did you pull any like supernatural or any type of ritual or any type of things for the theme of this? Because with me watching it, I'm big on witchcraft, supernatural things. I love witches, I love warlocks, I love anything that deals with that type of thing. But watching it, I felt that. I mean, at the beginning, when she was watering her plants, I was like, wait a minute, and then my favorite scene, and I love that scene, and I'm gonna try not to laugh, but when they were in the woods, that's my favorite scene because it was like it came all together, But did you mean to pull out any of that supernatural witchcraft type thing? Like, was that like something that you were going for? Like, because that's my type of thing right there. Like,
yeah, we're talking about chaos magic.
no. Do you watch WandaVision?
I'm about to say, do you watch WandaVision? like, she just made my night. Like,
he's done. He's done.
Like, she just really made my night. Like, you sure you didn't watch WandaVision? Because you can say
I've seen WandaVision, but WandaVision just came out. I made this movie in like 2019.
She said what she said.
We go.
We have to talk because if she's talking about chaos magic in 2019, child, like. No, so
See, and that just Oh,
you saying this is chaos magic? So
and bodily fluids play a big part in chaos magic.
Wow.
Teach the people something, cause honey, I'm sorry, but that just seeing those elements throughout the movie, that's what I was intrigued by. I was drawn by that because I wanted to know, what is these women doing? Like, so I want to say thank you for that. Cause to me, the nerd in me, the witchcraft person who likes that supernatural stuff, I appreciate that. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump off of that. Like Mike can tell you I'm pretty big on that stuff too. And I'm just like, I knew that was, I knew they were doing some sort of some magical with a K, to something. I'm like, yeah, that's chaos magic. And just, that kind of, speaks on how like people sort of, take bits and pieces of, different cultural aspects. I'm like, the way Cassandra had that dream about the beasts, I'm just like, oh wow, yeah, I really did enjoy. My only question is, are we gonna get some more stuff like this in the future? We gonna get like a continuation or something?
Oh, I know. I
need to know
in my head. I know where it goes. And who
it's
was
going.
with the red
Keep
pill,
going.
because a red pill can red pill anybody, as we saw on January 6th. Like the people in the government was trying to tear down the government. So the government's been red pill. All of America has been red pill. So there's so many ways to flip that.
Oh, I love it because I'm just I got that, you know, just the way like that white woman being the like just all that, them red pilling the group was like, guys, when you watch this movie, remember this interview because oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll pop it back up. I wanted to ask, with all of this in it, and it's mind blowing. What was the journey like trying to get up the fight? You know, I know you said you self-financed, but I mean, what did people say when you came to them with this concept? Did you? I mean, what were those conversations like?
Well, let me say first and foremost, like I had a credit card. And I went to a producer and said, would you do a budget and tell me, you know, this is what my credit card will allow me to do. Can I make a movie? And she was like, no. And so then I went to another producer to look at that budget and she was like, no. And so people were like, okay, you know, go raise $1 million. So I went and started asking people and they would read the script and they were like, yeah, it's a good script. I mean, that ending is kind of far-fetched. I mean, that's a little extreme, but okay, I'm not going to give you any money. And I was like, I have this, because it was 2019 and the election was the next year, I needed to make the movie right now. And I wanted to shoot it on Halloween, which is what it was going to be, the election the next year. So I wrote this script in August of 2019 and I was shooting on Halloween of 2019.
Wow.
And, you know, if you all are talking about magic, you know, people who were working with me were like, how's this going to happen? How's this going to happen? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's happening. Like everything we need will be here. I don't know how. I don't ask how. I'm stepping forward and we're going to have what we need. So let's just do it.
And it happened for you. If we can go back to that website, I want to show everybody all the recognition the film has had so far.
I was gonna ask, is it okay? Can we play the trailer? I had to redo it. I want the people to see a little sneak peek of it. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna pull it up. But no, I was gonna ask, can we play the trailer just to give the people a little visual of what we saw, because like I said, it was good. So I'm gonna pull this up real quick. And
we are a majority in this country, and we're gonna win the election.
Do you know what the red pill is? A red pill is someone who infiltrates a group and then destroys them from the inside. This place is spooky.
Some people like to live dangerously.
Yes,
That's that sign.
Don't eat tonight. You know what, guys? I'm gonna go back tomorrow.
Did you hear about the creature woman that attacked a father and son hunting down here?
I don't see the keys. This place creeps me out.
I think we should call the sheriff's office.
The only people missing or dead are brown people.
They're after all of us.
What do we do, Amelia?
We die. But we take some of them with us.
There was. She was like, she went from just girly girl, just like screaming to, you know, we taking them down. So
until she wasn't allied.
Until she was
uncomfortable, right?
Okay, so you put that in there about how when the moment. Okay, so there's something in here. I don't want to give it away. But I was like, thank you when you put it in there. The moment that this white woman was an ally until she had to suffer, and then they were like, okay, you gonna join us now? She's like, yep. And Cassandra was left on her own to do, and that's so. I mean, that happens to us a lot, and to see it on screen in the way you put it as horror, that was genius. That was genius right there. I really like that. And looking at the trailer, were those slave quarters? No. Okay, they look.
But the bracelet that she gives him is a slave shackle. The bracelet that Cassandra gives her man is a slave shackle bracelet.
Child. Oh man.
He didn't know what he was getting into.
That's
And
their thing. You know, that's their thing.
Right.
And that tells you about when people don't know the history. Yeah.
What?
So when people don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to know, what is your favorite horror movie?
I got so many. I mean, because I like so many genres. One of my favorites is a Korean movie called Bedeviled.
Bedeviled. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. We'll check it out. This is what we do. We review TV shows and movies, and we will watch it, and we will come back and be
Bedeviled is
okay.
Slow build, and then it just goes.
Okay. That sounds good.
She still got me stuck on chaos magic. All I keep thinking is like, okay, in this series, who can be this person and that person and this person? Like,
And I'm over here wanting to ask about each little different thing and pick this thing apart. Like her coat looks like a church robe.
That way. I mean, you know, I've been doing lectures with academics because there's a whole level of way that this movie can just be broken down in terms of the symbology, the animals, the colors, all of that.
Yeah, I caught the color, and then on the second time around, when you had that reveal, the reveal at the end, anyway, the second time around, I caught the color of the car. Was that supposed to be
yeah, it's intentional.
See, told y'all. And then, like I said, her coat, Cassandra's coat, looks like a church robe.
Well, you know, purple is also a color of royalty, so that's like her cape. That's like her superhero coat.
Okay. I loved it because I was like, okay, wait. I said she got it on, and I said maybe cold out there, but I was loving the flow and how it fit on her.
Yeah,
and just how it it almost felt like an armor of protection almost.
Mm-hmm.
So you know,
she didn't have it on at the end.
Yeah, she did not have it on.
No, poor thing. She didn't.
Oh man.
So, yeah. So I just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about because I think what it was is, for me, is her having to really just fend for herself, because nobody was really nobody was trying to, you know, be on her side and everything like that. And then, you know, looking back at it now, when the reveal happened, I'm just like, y'all went with her. This lady was by herself the whole time. And, you know, I mean, even though with the ending, I feel like she still got through what she went through, you know. And the only reason I want to know what happens more, because I feel like she could be that person to rebel. And, you know,
well, we do prevail. I mean, we as Black women, as Malcolm X said, we were the most neglected, disrespected, underprotected people in America, and still we rise. Miss Stacey Abrams, Miss Kamala Harris, like, you know, they try to bury us, but they didn't realize we are seeds. That's why she's laughing at the end, like, been there, done that. We will survive this too.
Yes. Ma'am. See, that's why it was the laugh for me at the end.
Oh my goodness. And at the end, I wondered if she was she laughing and crying at the same time?
Nah, she was
cried
laughing.
and laughed. Yeah.
I felt like she was laughing at the situation and everything. And then I watched the second time, and there are clues along the way about who was really with her and who was really not. When the second time you catch it, and I'm like, you heifers, y'all. So does Cassandra kind of become is the series? I mean, if we do see more, will it be built around Cassandra, or do you have a different tale or a different part?
It's a little further in the future, and I want to build it around young people who grow up in the world that the movie says is the new world, that they've got it. And so those characters who survived this movie will be there, but it'll be young people growing up in that, having to figure out what is right and what is safe. And, you know, as young people always have to do, like figuring out, who do I believe? Who do I want to grow up to be?
Right. Some good lessons. We got people in the comments wanting to know. We have Rasha here. Will there be an international release?
It's playing at a festival in Birmingham, England on the 12th and the 14th. It was just in Mykonos. I think it's going to be in Amsterdam, because we've already won awards in Sweden and Greece and Amsterdam and Venezuela. So hopefully once we get a distribution deal, it will be international, because it's an international story. And in many ways, people outside of the U.S. see the truth of it more than people in America are willing to acknowledge that, like, Red Pill movie is real.
It is. And you've got everybody there. And go ahead, Aaron.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, just the idea of, that series doing that in a post-Trump world, like, that's what I love about, these types of films. It talks about the issues in such a way that a lot of people don't want. Like, you're touching on some very touchy subjects, like also going back to chaos magic, incorporating how, people do use that kind of knowledge, to further some agendas of their own. And just like, nobody wants to talk about that stuff all the time, and just to actually get that from a Black experience, and especially just the fact that Joe's here, how it is with some issues where people don't want to hear you. And if we had Key on right now, she'd be like, I'm just saying, a Black woman told your ass.
Like, that's our catchphrase. That's our catchphrase.
This is just brilliant stuff. This is really brilliant,
Dang, Rasha really want to get this movie. She's like, she wants to buy it. iTunes.
Well, it's still at Pan African Film Festival till Sunday.
Oh yeah, okay. You guys can buy your tickets there. Yes. Actually,
PAFF.org. It's there internationally till Sunday.
Okay.
See, y'all can see it. We
will put that on the link. Yes,
I highly recommend it.
I mean, automatically recommend that movie because, like I said, yes. I was, I like horror movies, and it was everything. I think it was the suspense as it went on, and then when things really, like the kill scenes and stuff happened, the music behind it, it gave me all the feels that I wanted with the horror movie.
I'm glad my composer Tassos Iliopoulos, I met him online, and he's in Athens, Greece, and you can imagine me trying to describe what music I was looking for, because there's a way in which the music is kind of counterintuitive to the action.
Yes. And so did he get the script first and then like read it and like, okay, I'm on board?
We had a conversation first, and I sent him a cut, a rough cut, and he came back a couple of hours later having scored a couple scenes for me. He got it.
Awesome. Yeah. The score is on point. What I want to know, what advice, because we've had you on for we've been drilling for 30 minutes. I'm so sorry. What advice would you have for filmmakers going out there like you with the message, and they want to get it made? What advice would you have?
I'm going to give some advice that someone said to me. And it was Brian Devine of Gigantic Pictures. And he says, you only get to make your first film one time. So make sure you say everything you want to say, and it's the movie you want to make. Make the movie you can make with the resources that you have. instead of waiting until you get all the things you need. Necessity is the mother of invention. Tangerine is one of the great films of the last decade, and it was made on an iPhone 5S. There are festivals around with, made on phones. There is nothing to stop you from making a feature film with the phone you have in your hand. If you've got a story to tell it with the resources you have. And once you've finished it, you move into a different category because now you are a filmmaker rather than you want to be a filmmaker.
Preach.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that. I love that. I love that.
Look! I was sitting here looking at my phone, like, all right, you heard what
I'm
she
sorry.
said. We got work to do, okay?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
the Moment app. It has lenses that go on the phones. Filmic Pro, Artemis. Those are some of the tools that you can use to make feature films on phones.
Okay. I
Y'all taking
appreciate
notes?
that.
Because I
Yeah,
am.
look,
Yes. Yes.
like, I
Like, I'm
appreciate that
typing.
because like I appreciate that because me and Aaron and we have a couple other people that's on our team that we want to tap into that world of doing short films and doing feature films, but you know we just we watched a couple movies with Slam Dance, and now having this movie at this film festival, it's very inspiring to see these filmmakers do what they do, and it gives you hope. It makes you continue the passion that you want to do, and then hearing what you just said just really lit another fire under me, so
I know.
thank you.
There is nothing like getting to build your own world, and in doing it, the decolonization of my mind that had to happen to do it. As I built my world, and people would want to say, people who couldn't even see what I see, like they don't even know where I'm going, and they're trying to tell me it's wrong. And in the realization of like, you looking at this and you think this is what it is, you don't even know what I'm making because you can't get in here. There is no wrong when you have a vision and you're building your world. Other people, most people you meet will not be able to see what you're doing. You got to hold that vision for a whole team of people who don't know what this is, and you got to carry it all the way to the end. You got to communicate it to other people, but you got to trust that there's no wrong about your vision.
Love it. Love it.
Love it.
Oh, Steve is in here. Amen. Smartphone film festivals are there. Short film festivals, 1 minute film festivals. He's made a film over Zoom. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about Ruby no more, Steve. It's a good film. It's a good film, but it caught me. So yeah, tell your story. Yes, I agree. So you've done the acting thing. You've got a Tony. You're gonna win some stuff for Red Pill. Author. What's the next project? What we conquering next?
I want to make my next film, which is a bigger film than this one. All my films are comedy horror. This next one gets a little more action adventure. So right now I'm in the process of trying to find comic storybook artists because it's such an elaborate story that in talking with VFX artists, they said you should storyboard the whole film and then bring it to a VFX artist. And I'm thinking, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just hire an artist and make a graphic novel of it. It's I call it blurachnophobia, but sometimes we would call it black arachnophobia.
Oh,
look, I'm already ready. If it's a graphic novel, I will buy it. I will buy it.
Yes, we love it. We love it. So, gentlemen, any more questions about Red Pill?
I'm like I said, I'm in awe with it. I'm probably gonna watch it one more time. But I am in awe with it. I just want to say congratulations on making it. I mean, you did it. You have inspired me. I know you've inspired Joe. I know you inspired my bro Aaron. Like, you have inspired us because of just listening to you right now, listening to your story, and then how you just summed it all up. It gives me hope. Like, So I appreciate you. Not, I think you broke
And I
my.
appreciate that you appreciated my story, because that's why we do it. I mean, I do it so that I can I get to experience more of the world by experiencing your experience. Like, it just keeps making more and more and more and more. So that's like, yes, that tells me, okay, do it. You know, what you did, it affected somebody.
Oh yeah, it did. It did. I felt heard. I felt seen. Like every time they ignored her, every time she had an instinct or she had a creepy feeling, would look out a window or look somewhere, and then they're like, "Oh, what's the matter with you?" You know, I'm like, that's me all day long. Um, you know, so, and then, you know, when it finally goes down, everybody looking at you like, what we gonna do? I'm like, I told y'all we should have left yesterday. So, you know, I, like I said, I felt seen, heard, and everything, and I've not had that feeling from a horror film before. That's why I'm just sort of having a moment here. Appreciate it.
That was my first intent, that Black women would say, I know the truth of this.
Oh yes. Oh yes. It is very, very true. And it's, I don't know, it's somehow, I don't know, feels something just to know that, you know, it's out there, and it's in horror, like just getting all of those feels wrapped up in a horror film. That's, for me, that's everything. So
it was important to me to get, you know, like sometimes you go see like big epic films with the history, and it's like taking medicine. Like, you know, you're supposed to watch this, but it's no fun.
No.
And I was like, how can I get all my points in, but let you have a fun time while I'm giving you your medicine?
Yes.
I was just about to say, because I ain't even gonna lie, it was a few scenes I was hollering, Kiki laughing, because like I said, when they was in the woods,
that messed up. I'm like,
call Aaron while I was watching it. I said I am hollering right now because they is getting down with the get down, and they was, you know, they had their little sounds, and I was like, okay, like that was, like I said, that was my favorite scene, because they was in the woods and they was going to get it. Like, so the fact that she said comedy horror, I don't, because I was laughing at one point because it was good.
No, if it helps, I jumped up and I was like, about time when Cassandra took that knife. I was like, it's about time. Like,
right. Yes.
I needed that. That
needed
it really did give me some life. I was here for
right.
it.
So thank you so much for coming on and letting us, you know, pick around and attempt to break down. I promise you, we're a little bit, well, no, we're not more organized. We're a lot more in control of our thoughts. It's just that this film just has a lot everywhere, and you know, we're still trying to compartmentalize, you know, to kind of bring it all up. Yeah, process. There. Yes. See, I can't even get my words, man. So thank you so much for coming on and listening to us and explaining. Oh, we love it. So, and please be sure to let us know where this ends up. And you know, we'll definitely follow the website, and I put the website in the chat for everybody. It's let's see.
You got the website in the chat, and you have the film.
It's www.redpillmovie2020.com.
There you go. There you go.
We got the website and we got the film festival. So people in the chat
until Sunday at the Pan African Film Festival.
Yes, go watch it.
$8.49. It's a bargain.
$8, y'all.
Come on, y'all.
That's
$8.
less than a movie
ticket.
That
was like the 90s. You could see a movie for $8.49.
Wow. Between this one and then Slam Dance, these festivals are it. Yes. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have
guys.
a great night. You're welcome.
See you soon.
Yes. Whoo, like, child. I'm still stuck on chaos magic.
Chaos magic.
My tongue is tied. I mean, my tongue is tied, and my brain is tied. Just knowing that she targeted, and she made it just like I thought, just to like get our experience out on the screen.
Yes.
Amazing.
I can't think of any horror movie any other one that's done that. I really can't.
No, not black women. No.
Like
Oh.
I'm really trying to think, and I can't think of one. No.
Mm-mm.
Wait, you
No.
trying to think of? Wait, I'm sorry. I feel like
A horror movie with
there-
a horror movie that targets only the experience of
Black
black
women.
women, because
Oh, no,
Us
I
was
don't
for
think.
the black family, and
Yeah.
I can't think of it. This really is a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
It really
It
is.
is.
Like we in
This
that black
film,
renaissance, y'all.
I know, and the fact that she went through so much to get it made.
Right. That lets you know how shook I was. Her talking about that reminded me of Robert Townsend with Hollywood Shuffle.
Yes.
And I was like, you saw how that blew up.
Blew up.
I'm just
Hollywood Shuffle started that, didn't it? Wasn't that the beginning of that 90s whole? I feel like this is the beginning of something,
yes.
that
Yes. Brilliant.
Rasha, I don't know this answer to Chaos Magic.
Chaos Magic always had its roots in black culture.
Question. Yeah.
I mean, look at
originally
Lovecraft
African. Oh, okay, there it is. There you go. We don't talk about that though right now.
I know. Don't broke my heart.
We're not having a Lovecraft Boys reunion right now.
Yeah.
It's the mess.
So yeah, that last segment was messy. I just love it.
Yeah.
I was trying. I know she wanted us to really get into it. I was trying not to, because I want y'all to go see it.
I feel like
Yes.
we might have to
Do a breakdown.
We're gonna have to break it down, like, because
Yeah.
I feel like even the trailer, I can't believe the trailer showed the burning. Like,
Yeah, I know.
hey, and we all watched it without watching the trailer. So,
Right.
I think we're still shook from that, because even watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, you showed this in the trailer. But no, I really feel like we should, let it be out, and we should revisit this, because I feel like
I agree.
I want to keep the word going with this movie, because I feel like I want her to have more opportunities to do things like this. Like, I even told Aaron earlier, I said she gives me the same feels of Jordan Peele. I want them to collab.
Right.
I want her to.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
I want them to
Tonya
sit in the
Pinkins and
same.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, I want to see her and him in the same room,
Yeah.
and they create something, because I feel like that's the type of level she can get to.
I think she there. I mean, because I got Get Out feels.
Yeah.
I got the feels of Get Out.
Right.
Like Get Out the whole time. Something. That these white people are not the people you need to be around. I felt that around her people that she was with.
Yes.
Forget the people. Forget the people that's doing the scary stuff outside and in the woods and everything else.
Some gaslighting white folk.
In the house were the ones that she need to be. And I got the Get Out feels from that. So I'm just like, Steve said there are horror films out there focused on black women but stuck in the indie festival scene.
Right.
We'll be looking out for them, Steve.
I'm about to say, Steve, send us a list.
Yeah, we
If
definitely.
you find some, Steve, go ahead and send them to us. We love to watch them.
Right, we will watch.
We'll be looking for them. Yeah, we'll be looking for them. But yeah, this is definitely a game changer. And I think that even though it centers a black woman, I think this is one that a lot of people will want to see, because it has so much. And then I had the finance dude had a nerve to talk about the ending. The ending. Come on now. Yes, the ending is a lot, but the ending makes it.
Right. That's that whole sequence of that. It wouldn't be the same without it.
Because the ending is where you find out about the people she riding with.
Right.
That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me just, since it's the mess, let me get messy real quick. Of course, they're going to say it's not realistic, because that is reality. And nobody wants reality out there.
No, nobody wants the reality of, the white women, allies, ride or dies until they have to actually go through some shit, and then they gone. You are there with you by yourself. My goodness. Let me see.
That's all I was thinking the whole time.
Ooh, yes.
Anyways.
Anyways. but she captured it so well, and that's why I caught the woman laugh. I said I knew she was laughing and crying because it's something we know that it can happen. We don't ever think about it happening to us, but we know the potential is there. So that's why that laughing, crying moment. Yep. So.
Man, all I can think about. I mean, I caught Aaron 3 times watching this movie. I caught him. I said, first of all, didn't talk about it, but I caught him and said, "Oh, so they're just gonna eat pissy bread." I said, "Oh, okay, I'll call you back."
I was like, let's watch the movie, Mike. Let's watch the movie.
Wait for that moment. I'm like, what kind of ritual is this? What are y'all doing? Y'all need to go read the book again or something. I don't know where y'all getting this from.
All they had to do was put some salt and make a circle around them. It would have been all right. That's all they had to do.
No, they had to go extra. And then, so when they were the woman, the watching woman, was she actually having a kind of an old moment?
That's what I got from it. The way she was just sitting,
That girl, she was getting. Okay.
Yeah, she actually represented like white America for me.
Yes,
she
because
really did.
Because watching like all these people who like want to see this the black bodies being tortured, being what do they call it? There's a name. It's anyway it's no. Is it trauma porn or something like that? But anyway,
trauma porn.
Yeah, and so they want to see those images, and it's like they want people were mad they didn't get to see Harriet Tubman get knocked down and beat up, and in the movie they didn't get a chance to see her get whipped and stuff. It's like why you got to see that? Why you got to see that? You watching Red Pill, you see why they got to see that mess, and that's the. Yes.
And notice how we didn't see our 2 black leads. We didn't see anything malicious happen to them. It was just implied.
Yes. That was another thing I forgot to ask her about that. I was going to ask her about. Yes, I was gonna. That was one of my questions I wanted to, because the only people that were injured were the white people. Everybody had a horrible time, but the bodily harm happened to the white people.
Oof, that movie got me shook.
That movie's gonna have a whole lot of people shook. I swear to God, it is
for good reason, because everyone needs to see that. They really do.
Yeah. So, okay. Rasha says spoilers. We gotta move on.
Is she clicking?
She said spoilers.
Are you clicking?
Did you click the keys? Yeah, she got the keys.
She got the keys.
Oh, well then.
I am.
So speaking of chaos magic, Mike, your favorite?
What happened?
Chaos magic.
Chaos magic. The other.
Oh, WandaVision?
Yes.
Oh, we going there? Are we going there now? Are we going there?
One more comment. Graveyard Sisters, Graveyard Shift Sisters on the show. They can provide more details.
Bet.
You learn about them. Yes, I'm not supposed to click comments. What the?
No, I was being funny because you haven't clicked comments before. That's all. And you got the keys. Get in.